Hey, good morning, Facebook. Facebook Live. It's been a very long time since I've done a Facebook Live, and I want to say good morning to everybody. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. I'm here having my coffee, a little bit of late night, so I'm taking some time to recover. But I'm thinking about a topic I wanted to share with you this morning, and let me back up. So I watch a bunch of motivational and inspirational videos every single day, and I don't do it for any other reason to remind me of the things that I'm motivational and inspirational about, and that's really to help people make small changes in their life so they can be good for themselves, which in turn means they're good for everybody else. And some people have particular opinions about that, which I'm not going to talk about that here today, but I'm going to talk about why it's so critically important for you to do what you love to do. And I tell you, you can find so many things in life to do, but if you're not doing the things that you really love to do, I promise you, you're going to wake up one day, you're going to be 40. You wake up one day, you're going to be 50, and you're going to be like, holy shit, where did my life go? What about the things I really like to do or things I really love to do? What about those things? Because that is what's going to happen. So let me tell you a really quick story so I can give you some context and some perspective about where my head's at this morning. So I take a look at my life. I'm in my early 50s, and I think about what has really happened in my life to get me to where I am today. And it's everything. It's the decisions I've made. It's the people I've surrounded myself with. It's the places I've traveled to. It's the careers I've chosen. I was that guy that didn't do very well in high school because they called me ADD. I couldn't pay attention. I had what they call ants in my pants. I didn't have a lot of direction because I just couldn't take it because I couldn't consume it. And then I realized later on that probably around in high school that I like to be around people to help them laugh or help them joke or help them think a little differently about themselves. And it was right around high school I got introduced to this guy called Tony Robbins. Now, for those of you who know Tony Robbins, you probably look at him in a snapshot today about what he is. And he's this kind of larger than life, literally physically larger than life person who you call a motivational speaker. He's really a wealth coach. He's a life coach. He's a best-selling author. He's all these things. But when you start to peel back all that emotional stuff, you got to get to the heart about why you do what you do, and I'll bring in Tony in a second. But what are the things that you've done in your life, right? Let's go back to high school. What are the things I've done in my life that got me to where I am today? I always had a desire to help people. I always had a desire to inspire people. I always had a desire to make people laugh. I always had a desire to make people feel comfortable. I always had a desire to get people to say, you know what? It's all you. It's your fault, and you get the benefit from it. So that was kind of my message for so many years. Problem was, I never took my own advice. So I used to beat myself up. I had major, major insecurities. All I kept saying was, well, it's never going to work. It's going to fail. I'm never going to get it right. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to meet this person. I'm never going to do this. And that self-talk just reset me to get back on track to say, well, if I can't speak good to myself, maybe I could just speak good to others. And that lasted for a while, right up until college. And then once I got through college and started getting into the working field full time, I realized, okay, let me start talking a little bit differently to myself because I should feel a little bit better about myself because I've accomplished some success. I worked at IBM for a while. I worked on Wall Street for a little bit. Let me switch things around. So what happened was, this is where I'm going to turn the page here, guys. I finally realized what I love to do. Now, the thing is, I didn't get perspective on it until I was well into my 40s. Okay. Now, for some of you that are just like barely into your 20s, you're probably like, I'm going to figure it out way before I'm 40. You might not. You might not figure it out. It wasn't until in my 40s I figured out this is what I want to do. I want to be able to help people figure out how they can put the mirror on themselves and say, I can do this because I have the ability, I have the capability, I have the burning desire to be able to be a good person, a great person, an amazing person, a powerful person for myself, so I can in turn give that away. Because when you think about, how many of you say to yourself, well, I want to make money, I don't want to retire poor, or, my family didn't give me this, and my brother was this, and my sister was that, and it's everyone else's fault. It's not everyone else's fault, it's your fault. You have the power to change. So back on track with the story and how Tony Robbins kind of dovetails into this. So I found out that I love to entertain people, and the entertainment side of people was a vehicle for me to motivate and inspire people to make those changes in their life. So I used music as a platform to do that. So what I did was I got into the DJing business, and I got into the MCing business, and I took all the motivational, inspirational things I love to do. I used the music business as a platform to do that. Then I layered technology on top of it. So in the late 80s, early 90s, I got into the technology business, and 25, 30 years later, I laid technology, music, entertainment, and then in 2007, I got in the solar business. I layered all these things on my life because I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be a great father, a great husband, a great person. Here's the thing. On top of those layers that I became and that you can become, on top of those layers, there's one thing, there's one foundational pillar in the middle of those layers. And that's my burning desire to help people find their passion and their purpose and their why. That's the best way to say it, guys. So, yeah. Oh, that's Anthony Conklin. He was the Michael Jackson dancer years ago. Oh, that's Anthony Conklin. He was this. That's the Anthony Ace guy. I became all these things to people, right? I became the solar guy, the speaking guy, the entertainment guy, the DJ guy, the MC guy, the father, the brother, the son, the friend, the husband, the lover, all these things. I became all these things. But what happened is I realized that what is it that I really love to do? I love to help people be better than me. I'm like, holy shit. I want people to be better than me because I already knew that people were better than me because I never thought I was good enough. If you find what you love to do, you have to do it. Because what's going to happen is the universe is going to give you all these things. It's going to give you a curveball here. You're going to get hit in the head with a brick here. You're going to have a devastating, life-changing experience. You're going to have an emotionally shattering experience. You're going to have a wake-up call. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to get divorced. Someone's going to get sick. Someone's going to leave you. You're going to leave somebody. All these things are going to happen, and then you're going to change. But if you make the change now, figure out what you want to do with your life. Figure out what you like to do. Figure out what you're really good at, and then find a way to give that away and make money at the same time. So what I've done is I've taken my life of 30 years in the industry, whether it be in the entertainment space, the technology space, the telecom space, and now 11 years in the solar industry. I've taken all of that and I've used that as a platform to be able to motivate and inspire my team of 15 plus people in my company, motivate and inspire the 6 or 7 in my entertainment company, motivate and inspire people in my consulting business. And that's all I want to do. So here's my message, guys. Okay, a few minutes into it. Here's my message. Find out what you really, really like to do. Find out what you're really good at, and just find a way to make money from it. Because I promise you, if there's anything you take away from this video, you're going to come back to this point. This is your point. Your point is, but I love to do this. I love to be an engineer. I love to be a technology person, okay? If you're an accountant and an engineer and you hate public speaking, stop trying to be a public speaker. Be a really great accountant. Be a great engineer. Don't think about how much money you're going to make. Think about how happy you're going to be. Because when you find out you're happy with something and you find out you're fulfilled with something, no dollar amount is going to make you feel any better. Believe me, I can tell you from experience. I've made a lot of money and I was miserable. I made a ton of money and I was unhappy. And when I was making no money and doing the things I would love to do still, I found happiness. I wasn't joyful because I didn't have enough money, but I was happy. The last 15 years of my life have been so pivotal because I came to a point where, okay, I know what I love to do. I know what I'm good at. I know that I can give more to others, not just give to myself, and I can make freaking money from it. Those 4 things. Write those things down for me, guys, for you. You need to do this. Write this down. Write down what you're good at, what you really, really love to do, good at and love to do. Write down how you can give that to somebody. Go find one person today who lacks motivation. Well, you know what? Be motivational for them. Somebody who lack self-esteem. Show them how to have self-esteem. You show them self-esteem. Go give that away. And the last thing is find out how to make money from it. If somebody wants to have you come speak to their school and say, listen, I'll do it for free, and they offer you, $100, you make $100. You take the $100, you keep half of it, give half back to the school. Find a way to find joy and fulfillment in your life by doing what you love to do. I promise you this. I promise you, as the sun's going to rise today and set today, is that you will come back to this point in your life. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Go listen to yourself. Go look at other people who have been down that road. Take the success layers off and the hyperbole and the bullshit that they talk about. Go find other people who have done that. Here's one last comment. Go find somebody who's an immigrant. There was a neighbor of mine where I lived in Eastchester. I won't give you his name because a lot of people who watch this may even know who he is. My neighbor, when I lived in Eastchester, was an immigrant. He was a guy who opened and closed. He was not a valet. He's a guy who opened and closed the doors for the hotel guests that came in. And he told me this real quick story. This is my end of my story here, guys. He opened and closed the doors for very wealthy people who lived in the building. And he barely spoke English. He was Albanian. Just a nice guy, very friendly, very engaging. Here's what he did. Couple of months, couple of years went by. I don't know how long, probably a couple of years. He ran into this one guy who he just connected with. It was one of the real estate guys who lived in the building. He said, have you ever thought about getting into real estate? He goes, I don't know anything about real estate. I'm just a doorman. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to go to a bank and get money. I don't know how to ask to borrow. I don't know anything about building and architects and everything. He goes, well, let me show you how to do it. And what he did was, over the course of maybe 6 months or so, he started to take some notes about how to become a real estate guy. And what he did was he took all those notes, he basically wrote them down, and he took action against them. You know what he's doing today? He is the owner. He's the owner of the building that he used to open the door for. That's what he used to do. So imagine this, an immigrant from Albania comes to the U.S. He used to open the door for these rich people who lived in this building. He met one of the guys that lived in the building, who was a real estate investor. He took the notes down. He started taking action on it. You know what he's doing? He's building his third house today. He is a multi seven-figure earner. He owns tons of real estate, and he's the nicest guy in the world. And I asked him, I said, I won't tell you his name. I said, what makes you happy? He goes, Anthony, what makes me happy is somebody showed me how I could be successful and how I can learn in my life. And now I'm showing my son, my daughter, and I'm showing my friends on how I became successful. I said, what do you like to do? He goes, I just like to help people be successful because I was shown how to be successful, so I'm going to give it away. Guys, last thing. What do you like to do? Write it down. Because you know what you like to do. What do you gravitate to every day? What gets you to go in that direction? What do you like to do? What are you good at? Okay? If you're an engineer, go be a freaking engineer, right? What do you like to do? What are you good at? What can you give away? How can you go help somebody be better than they are by you giving them some advice on how to be better for them? And then the last thing is this. How do you make money from it? That part is easy. When you figure out the first three, the fourth just happens. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'm Anthony Conklin. You can find me at anthonyjconklin.com. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a president of a USA-based company. I spent 26 years in corporate America. I'm coming up on 30 years in the entertainment business, 30 years in the industry. I'm so super pumped, super excited, and I really thankful and grateful that you spent some time with me today. You can leave your comments here on Facebook. I'll answer all of your questions. Or one better, you can subscribe to my YouTube and just watch my videos. I get in your face and I try to help you. Les Brown says you have greatness within you. Lewis Howes says the school of greatness is the greatness of you. So go be great today, right? Just go be great. Go give it away. I love you guys. Until next time, I'll see you soon.